What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you my Week 12 Heisman Watch List. So the list will consist of the same names for honorable mention and my top five, but the order will just be switched around some. And one person, my number one option, actually, Bo Nix, has dropped 5 spots. He's out the top five. He was number one. Now he's in the honorable mention spot, and one person will boost up from honorable mentions to the top five. So let's get right into it. So a quick recap of last week, if you didn't see the video. My honorable mention: Max Duggan, Stinson Bennett, Bijan Robinson, and Blake Corum. Top five: Drake Maye, C.J. Stroud, Caleb Williams, Hendon Hooker, and Bo Nix at one. And the reason why, let's get right into it. Why Bo Nix dropped from number one all the way out to top five. Bo Nix's Heisman chance and Oregon's playoff chances kind of went hand in hand. And that loss they suffered last week, I forgot the what team now, but that loss that they suffered kind of ended both of those things simultaneously. And normally the Heisman winner, or at least to be in the running, normally you have to be a playoff contending team, and there's no way in the world Oregon can make the playoffs now. So he gets the respect due of being an honorable mention guy, but he was a front runner. Obviously, he's my number one pick last week, excuse me. Oregon was a front runner to get in the playoff spot, and now they lost it. And I'm gonna get into the Pac-12's only chance left, which is Caleb Williams. He's on his top five list as he was last week, but he definitely Bo Nix was the front runner for me. But Oregon's upset loss definitely tainted his chances and Oregon's chances at the playoffs. So but that's not a bad thing to get honorable mention. He was in the mix heavily, but just couldn't hold on to it. It's a long season, man, and things happen. Um, so honorable mention this week for me personally, Bo Nix, who's a new entry, fell 5 spots. Um, you have Stinson Bennett still, Bijan Robinson still, and you have um, Max Duggan from TCU. Right now, number five, the new entry, Blake Corum, the Michigan running back who's been fantastic this year, been super steady, super consistent. If not mistaken, he's had 7 straight games of 100 plus yards. He's been great. He's been super consistent, man, and it's all you can say about him, really. Um, he's Michigan's most dangerous threat on offense, honestly. And if he's ever slowed down, Michigan has no chance. I don't know what their quarterback can do. It's kind of been a hidden secret. We're not sure. They switched quarterbacks, hoping to find a new spark plug, a new level to their offense, but they haven't shown it yet because Blake Corum's been so consistent and so good, and they really have need to show it. So hopefully, when they play Ohio State in the upcoming weeks, they can put a little clamp on Blake Corum, hopefully, and so we can see more of Michigan's offense. But they might not. Corum might run wild, might be an offensive shootout game. We're not sure. Might be a close game. Michigan does have great defense as well, so we'll see what happens there. But it's going to be tough for Corum to get past 3 to me, honestly. Um, just being upfront with you guys, it's going to be tough. Getting to 3 would be his best chance to me, honestly. But like I said, you never know what could happen. But right now, Corum at 5 is great. As I said in my last week's video, all the running backs who are great. It's another guy too. I forgot his name. Chase something, the other running back. But a lot of running backs had great years. But Blake Corum definitely stood out. His team doing the best as well. So that's why he gets the nod at number 5. Number 4, Drake Maye, USC's quarterback. Had a great year. Had a great year. He's gonna go in the ACC championship game versus Clemson. UNC's at a 9-1 record. Um, Total 39 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's been fantastic. He's been great. And it was funny because he was supposed to go to Bama. I didn't even know this. I read up on him the last couple of weeks. He was supposed to go to Bama and be Bryce Young's backup, and then had a starting range next year. But he went to UNC, started as a true freshman. Has been fantastic. So great for him. But yeah, he definitely has a shot to win it. Dark horse right now, honestly, but he definitely has a shot. UNC beating Clemson is definitely possible this year. Clemson is garbage. They're definitely not the same Clemson as they were with Watson and Lawrence and those boys. So Drake May has a real shot at it. I like how he's playing. He looks fantastic as a true freshman. Hope he can keep it up. Some funny not news, but some funny comparisons I saw the other day was he had the same numbers or similar numbers that Sam Howell did the last couple years, and they were saying, Sam Howell isn't the best prospect for the NFL, so does Drake May fall in the same category? I don't know, but I'm just saying this year, I'm just saying, this year. I'm not even saying that comparison. I seen that somewhere, but I thought it was a little funny that they were saying how great May looks, but he's gonna be a worse pro like Sam Howell. But Sam Howell's not a bad pro to me. We haven't seen him play, but whatever. It's not my video. It won't my stuff I was saying. I'm just reporting from what I saw. But whatever. Drake May at 4, having a great year. Definitely has a shot to win it. Probably might can finish top 2 potentially, depends on how everything plays out. Number 3 to me, and it's kind of okay. He stays in the same spot, and it's Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, USC, they have an outside shot at winning the Pac-12. They should be in the championship game for the Pac-12, and they have an outside shot at getting to the playoffs. So that's their last chance left. With UCLA now losing to Arizona in a super upset, I was shocked that it's they're in the driver's seat now. So the only thing that hurt me with USC is they don't have a real signature win, and that's the only problem that really uh, takes him back from me, honestly. But honestly, though, USC chances really are they were really tied to UCLA. When them losing to Arizona, that upset loss last weekend, it really killed USC's and Caleb Williams' chances at the playoffs and at the Heisman. Um, but there's an outside shot still. USC and Williams played Utah, had a great game. He put up great numbers, but they lost to a top 25 team. Very tough game, very tough team. And if the UCLA would have beat Arizona, it would have been a super big matchup, super important matchup between those two squads coming up this weekend. But with UCLA losing, though, I just don't see the importance of Williams. So Williams, to me, is stuck at 3 with the only chance to go down. That's why I said earlier about Maye, about Blake Corum. I can see those guys going 3 and up because Williams might fall just off of the other two guys playing more games. Because I think UNC can beat Clemson and might sneak into the playoffs. And I see Michigan potentially beating Ohio State and maybe get into the playoffs too. So, it's really up to those two guys to supplant Williams, which is definitely possible. So, Williams, good year so far. USC had a great year so far. That one loss and plus UCLA loss really hurt them for the upcoming matchup this weekend. So Caleb Williams is at my 3. Number 2, the guy who was front runner all year long until a couple weeks ago, Hendon Hooker. Now, it might just be my personal bias, but he looked so bad against Georgia. Not just him, his entire team. They look outclassed. They look so outmatched. I can't give Hooker the Heisman unless something drastic happens. Seriously, like he looked bad to me. And the hype was coming up. The hype was peaking. Him being a first round pick, him maybe being the top pick or a top 5 guy or a top 10 guy. And then can Tennessee beat Bama and Georgia in the same year and all that stuff? And it came to a peak. Like, man, Hooker is the guy. Can he can he be the guy to save a franchise in the NFL next year? Can he be who will draft him high? And then after that game, it just took a nosedive and came out to reality. Like, nah, Hooker's a second round, third round, maybe fourth round guy. Can he beat Georgia? Nah. And it was a big fall from grace to me. But I'm giving him the respect he deserves because Hooker was in Tennessee. They've been phenomenal all year long except for one game. One game, and it was the biggest game of the year so far. and they laid a goose egg to me personally. They were sorry. They were outmatched. They were just not ready for it. So Hooker, to me, kind of the same spot as Caleb Williams, can only go down. There's only one possibility that Hooker wins the Heisman to me personally, and Ohio State had to lose to Michigan, and then Michigan has to lay an egg, or Corum just lay an egg or something for the rest of the season, including the playoffs or something. Drake Maye and USC loses to Clemson, so he might everyone from the top five except for him, except for Hooker and Tennessee falls, and then Hooker will be boasted up just by the fact everyone else lost. But that Georgia game really, really hurt me with Henderson Hooker, and I just don't see him winning it, to be honest. He'll be second on everyone's ballot, but that one game really crushed his chances to me personally. That's just me though. It might just be biased, but I like his team a lot. I like his game a lot, but that performance was just dookie. I'm not gonna lie to you. And number one, CJ Stroud. And the funny thing is, he was my 4 last week. And with me, my number one, Bo Nix lost the whole top 5 after one loss and went to um, to honorable mention. And my number 4 bumped up over 3 guys and went number 1 now. And I think to me it makes sense. His consistency hasn't really been there that much this year as it was last year. Had a couple rough games last week. Well, no, not last week. 2 weeks ago was a Northwestern game. Very muddy, very messed up field. Bad weather game. 73 yards passing and rushing, something like that. So, it was a tough game on him, and that's why I knocked him down to number 4. But he played in the snow. He plays in the bad weather for a couple games. But I also don't. I also have to take to account that they have a lot of blowouts, and he can't put up numbers that he really should. But he's been pretty good all year. Not fantastic as I thought it would be, but he's been pretty good. He's been pretty steady as well, aside for those bad weather games. So trying to add up Ohio State's dominance and their blowout scores, plus not taking so much away from the bad weather games, I'm gonna give Stroud the number 1 spot, just all default for right now. Someone has to take it from him. Someone can take it from him. I think Maye or Corum are the best chances, honestly. Williams has an outside chance, and Hooker, as I said earlier, everyone else has to lose around him for him to win it. So, Hooker can't take it from him. It has to be an Ohio State loss or a terrible, terrible Stroud performance with Ohio State win. And then maybe Hooker can come back number 1, or Drake Maye or Corum, depends on what happens and who wins and all that stuff like that. So I'll follow back next week with week 13. But as of right now, though, my top 5 goes as Blake Corum at 5, Drake Maye at 4, Caleb Williams at 3, Hendon Hooker at 2, and CJ Stroud right now is my front runner for the Heisman Trophy. So that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.